The Department of Justice releases a massive trove of records related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Today's disclosure includes millions of records, videos, and images as required under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a law designed by President Trump in November. It's designed to provide public disclosure over what the government knew about Epstein's sexual abuse of young girls and interactions with rich and powerful people. Investigative reporter Bennett Haeberle joining us now with more on that. Hi, Bennett.
Hi, Natalie. Yeah, full disclosure, we are still reading through this massive document dump of these records. So, too, is a team at NBC. In fact, it will take some time to comb through millions of pages of records, even in the digital age. Today's release includes 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images. This latest batch comes after the DOJ missed a December deadline to turn over all these documents. Included in this latest release, investigative records related to Epstein's time in jail after his 2018 arrest. He was charged in 2019 in Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking of minors. He died behind bars while awaiting that trial. His death was later ruled a suicide. In this latest batch that was released, we also noticed several bank records which were subpoenaed as part of that grand jury investigation into Epstein. They include accounts linked to LSJ LLC, believed to be Little St. James, the Caribbean island that Epstein purchased, where prosecutors allege that young girls were exploited. During a news conference today, the Deputy Attorney General said the files released include large quantities of, quote, commercial pornography taken from Epstein's devices. There are some videos, however, according to the DOJ, that do appear to be taken by Epstein or someone around him. One of the questions posed today during that news conference centered around, does this latest batch of records include the names of others who might be implicated as having ties to Epstein? Here's part of that exchange.
Is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, why not?
There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will.
The White House is distancing itself from any references that contain President Trump, noting in a statement, quote, that some of the documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims about President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the statement goes on to say the claims are, quote, unfounded and false. And if they had any shred of credibility, according to the White House, they would have certainly been used against President Trump already. President Trump, by the way, in the past has previously denied any wrongdoing. Marion?
Bennett, thank you for that update.